friends, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Joey and I am working with the most beautiful bead box. Even if I do say so myself, it is my collaboration box with Didi Beads and it was called A Night at the Symphony. So I already did a reveal video and a little project in that video. These were the earrings. I'll link that in the description box below. These were so fun and easy to make, but this box is luscious. It's elegant, it's classic, it's timeless, but at the same time it's a little bit edgy and sparkly. We had some black agate beads, check glass pearls, some plated hematite beads, some 18 karat gold plated micro pave charms in musical notes, because it's, you know, a night at the symphony and it is just the most beautiful box. So I am doing a project that is also classic elegance and some versatile wearability as well. So I've kind of laid out a little pattern here. I'm making a beaded chain, and so this is what the body of the beaded chain is going to look like, and I need about 36 inches for this design, so I have a ways to go. I wanted to show you the plan and show you what I'm doing, and then off camera I'll finish it up. In my stash, these were not in the box, but in my stash, I literally had 5 of these check glass jet elongated bicones, and I'm putting those in my project, as well as these little diamond cut jump rings that are gold filled. I am having trouble reordering these. I've ordered them so many times, but I do have an alternative, and I'll put all those links in the description box if you really like this project and you want to do it. So if you don't have like a long bicone, you can choose any. I wanted a little black kind of pop in this piece. The black agate beads would be wonderful as well, but I am saving those for a bracelet project. So, and I had these, but even if you had just some black drux and you did a little component that was just 3 of them on a wire, you know, that would give you this same look. So I am not sure where these are going to get connected into my project, but on this necklace, this is going to be a very unusual clasping necklace with quite a few options. When we get it done, I'll kind of show you. But at the bottom, one section of the necklace, I want it to be a little bit of a charm section, and that's where I'm going to add in these beautiful music notes that are pave and 18 karat gold plated. And I'm also making a few drops. We have these beautiful check glass burgundy teardrops in the box, and I'm making a few drops on head pins to add into the charm section when I get going. And if you didn't see my first video, we have these gorgeous travertine finished champagne olive beads in our box, and there are 3 in the box, which was perfect to make a bracelet, but one of mine was defective and it did not have a hole, and so I showed you how to, you know, not lose this bead. So I turned it into a little drop with some wire, a bead cap from my stash, and a little bit of glue. And then I have just taken a disc spacer that I had in my stash. As my spacers, I am using these demi rounds that are gold. I have them also in black. You see them out here, but you could also just use seed beads as your spacers. But I love the shape of these little O beads, these little donut beads. They're really small. They're called demi rounds. They're in the seed bead family, and I'll put links to those too if you would like to add those to your stash. But I just let this dry, and I just played with a little bead pattern to incorporate my colors. And so this is going to be the final drop on my necklace. So I rescued my check glass bead that didn't get a hole and turned it into this stunning drop. I love this so much. But if yours are not defective and you like the look of this for the final part of the necklace, you can still create this look. If you have holes in your beads, you can just put a head pin, either a ball head pin or a decorative head pin right through the bottom, and create this same look for a final drop. Now also in the box, you'll see when we get to the end, we have 2 sets of these really lovely classic elegant hook and eye, and those can totally be used for this. But I have a bracelet and a necklace project also planned. I have a lot of projects. If I had not been involved in curating this collection, I would be applauding whoever did it, because The colors are so rich and the shapes of the beads are so lovely and so unique. And the combinations that I am able to get with them are just amazing. So my friend Stella at Didi Beads is amazing at her bead selection and what she puts on her website. And I know beads and decades of making jewelry, so together it's just like powerful. I just love what I have here. So that being said, I am not going to use the clasp because as I said, have planned other projects. And for this design, I think this little clasp that I have that's gold filled. Another thing that I love that I've reordered so many times. So I think that's going to go into this project. So as I said, I had 5 of these little beads and I'm using these jump rings to make my chain have some interest. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to link all 5 of these on one section of the necklace or break it up and have 3 on one section and then these 2 on the other section. But I am using my Soft Flex 20 gauge wire. You could use 18 if you wanted. 18 is a little hard on my hands when I have to do like 36 inches of a beaded chain. I love this craft wire. It's got an anti-tarnish coating and it's just so easy to work with. So I am using that, and I'm using my medium size, the 2¼ millimeter one-step looper, because on a beaded chain that I am not going to connect all of the elements with jump rings. A little bit larger loop gives you a little bit more fluidity and movement in a chain. So I am just getting my simple loops in here, and you can totally use your pliers if you're good at doing loops with your pliers and not the one-step looper. I love this tool when I'm making a beaded chain. I don't even put it down. I just keep it in my hand and flip it out of the way. And I'm just going to create the 2 components that I have here. So for the burgundy one, I threaded on one of my little black O beads, one of my little gold O beads, one of these little burgundy check glass 6 millimeter faceted rounds, and then I just repeated flanking the other side with the gold and the black. And so that's the pattern on that little component. And then I want all my loops to be going in the same direction on this project, so the opening is right there, and the one-step looper always makes the loop going upward. And so I really like this tool because I'm really good at making simple loops, but I find that my hand will start hurting when I don't use this tool because I do have some arthritis, but also I'll notice inconsistencies in my loops. So I really love this tool, and I get a rhythm with it. So, but do them any way you need. And you know, honestly, you could even do wrapped loops. I have done beaded chains with wrapped loops. It takes you a little bit longer and you get a little bit more metal presence in your chain, but it is really a lovely look. Really a lovely look for a beaded chain. So, you know, you can modify this if you like this design. And I'm having a little problem with my one-step looper. I think the cutter in the back might be getting dull because it gets so much use. So it might be time for me to get a new one-step looper, but I'm just creating all my components exactly like that. The other one is with this check glass bicone pearl and just flanking it with black on either side. And so I am going to sit here just hanging on to my one-step looper. Since I'm making components over and over again, I don't need to put it down. And then I'm going to go back and open all those loops and connect. I'll come back after I've done some of this and show you where I am and show you the uniqueness of this necklace. It's probably not what you think. So I'm really excited about it. This is a piece that I am definitely keeping for myself. I am making this for myself. So I am taking great care to close all my loops really well, work hard in them, straighten them. You can do that with 2 pairs of pliers. This one's good, but if you need to, you can straighten your loops with 2 pairs of pliers. And I'm really enjoying this project. These beads are so unbelievably beautiful. So I am going to keep going exactly like that, and we'll come back. I'll come back. It'll just be a second for you, and we'll make this final drop. Oh, before I pause my camera, let me show you how I do a wire wrapped loop. I am using ball head pins that are brass, but they are extremely really fine gauge wire. So I'm just putting one of those little check glass pearls on that ball head pin. And then for these drops, my little pattern was just 3 gold O beads, just topping it off. And the way that I do a simple loop is to get a hold of the wire at the top of my bead stack, 90-degree bend, and then I'll put my round nose pliers. I want these drops to be pretty small, down kind of near the tip, maybe a little bit. The further this way you go, obviously you're going to get a bigger loop. And I'll wrap that wire over the top barrel of the plier and then rotate it. So now this was the bottom barrel, but now it's the top, and then just bring this wire around the barrel. And then I'll turn it this way and just make sure that that loop is centered on my stack of beads. And then when I take that away, I have this really pretty loop. And from here I can wrap. So I get a hold of it really well with my bent chain nose pliers, and I'll go ahead and lock it into place, kind of start my wrap. These are so fine, they're a little bit hard to hold on to. So depending on your wire, you know, you might do this a different way. You can even do it with your fingers. But then I just want to do a nice, neat, see, they're so fine. It's my wire is even breaking when I hold on to it. It's a very, I like these head pins, but I do have to adjust kind of the way that I wrap and do loops and things because the wire is so fine. It works really well with like these tiny little O beads and that little dot of gold. They're really nice ones, but that's my little drops that I made. I'm just going to trim this as close as I can. And that's my little teardrop, and that's going to be a charm on the charm section. And when I start to connect these, I'm going to alternate like a teardrop, a music note, a teardrop. And so when that chain hangs, you're going to have this little sort of a, not a charm bracelet, kind of a little charm necklace at the bottom of this necklace. So I am going to keep working. I'm going to get another piece of my soft flex wire, and it'll just be a second for you. Okay, this went so much faster than I thought it would. So my beaded chain is almost completely complete. I just wanted to do this little charm section on camera so you could just see, but it is simple connecting. And I did decide to separate my 5 elongated bicones that I had. So I put 3 here and I put 2 here, and I realized this is really difficult to see on my mat, but this part of the chain will usually be behind the neck. And then all of the places where I have added in these jump rings are possible ways to clasp this necklace. So you could have it look like a Y necklace. You can have it wrap around your neck twice. And I may even make some adjustments when I'm all finished connecting. I like to put things on myself and on my mannequin, Gabriella Eva, and see, you know, if things are hanging the way I want, which is the beauty of all the simple loops and the jump rings. Really, really easy to make adjustments. So let me put my little jump ring opener on, and I'm going to start connecting right here. I am going to take one of these jump rings. These are so good quality, such good quality that it's really hard to even find the opening. But I'm going to come right here with another jump ring, and on this side of my beaded chain, I'm going to add my little teardrop, and on this side, I'm going to add my music note, and then I'm going to add the next component, and then close this really well. Get my pliers in there. And so my little charm section, my charms then are hanging on either side of my beaded chain. Let me lay it out here so you can see. I might have to turn that one around. I might even add some jump rings to the music notes because they're, the pave is only on one side, but I'm going to do the same thing all the way down on this section of the necklace. Open my jump ring, and then I'm going to feed on my, let me do it this way. I want this music note to be on this side of my dangle, then my chain, and then I want my little teardrop to be on this side, and then my next section of beaded chain. So I hope that's not confusing, but when you lay it out, it's exactly the way that I had it laid out on my mat. That way my drops and my musical notes are alternating and hanging down either side. So when this is on the neck, let me move some of these beads because I won't be using those for a bit. When it's on the neck, so can you see what's happening here? Let me zoom in for you. So can you see what's happening? And then when you pick it up, it hangs uniformly and you have that little charm section. So I'm going to keep going just like that. And again, you can always, if you don't like the way things are hanging when you have simple loops and jump rings in your design, you can always make easy adjustments. And then I just took one of the Baroque check glass pearls that was in the box. Let me zoom back out. And I just did like a really simple component, just like a little transition bead. I'm going to add that right there. And then I did a simple loop, the same size as all my other loops, on this little drop from my rescued check glass bead that didn't have a hole. And I'm just going to attach that to the bottom. And so this side of the necklace, the charm side, and I know this is a horrible way for you to try to see this, but the charm side and the drop side of this necklace is done. And I'll definitely put some better pictures up. And then this side continues, and it is about 36 inches long. But if you like this design, you can make this much shorter, or you could make it much longer, so you can wrap it around your neck even more times. So this part will mostly be behind the head, and then this is my other side, so you'll see a little bit of the black. I wanted a little bit of black presence, and then the jump ring set that I'm using, or the assortment, has a really small jump ring that matches. There were 3 sizes in the assortment, and I'm going to use this to add my clasp. Like I said, these are such good quality. Honestly, there it is. It's hard with the diamond cutting and the thickness to find the opening. They look like solid ring components. And I'm just going to put my clasp on this end. And then this necklace is mostly done. I will do one more thing, but I have my little charm section here. This goes around my neck, and then this clasp can hook in anywhere that I wanted. I don't know, let me try if it will stay. Yeah, I can even hook it above my elongated bicones, but I did these large jump rings so that I can clasp it here, or anywhere here. And so it's just almost takes the shape of a Y necklace, but it's almost like a lariat necklace. It's kind of a combination of the two. I did a design like this in the summer where I made my own chain, and my drops here were natural elements from the ocean, seashells and fragments and some natural pearls, and it is so beautiful. I got so many compliments on that necklace wearing it all summer, so this is going to be my more elegant version. This is the prettiest thing. I love the music notes. I just love them. And so the one last thing that I will do is take my Permalac, my anti-tarnish coating, because as much as I love this little, this is a little assortment of cone-shaped bead caps that I pull from constantly, and I do love it, but they are just fashion jewelry. And I really like for, my pieces to have some longevity. So I just take this Permalac coating and just brush it over the cone bead cap. And the charms in our box are 18 karat gold plated and really nice quality. But I am going to brush this over my charms as well. Just give it a nice coat and just make sure everything is coated. If you're not familiar with this product, I am using the semi-gloss, and particularly that's the one you want. It's available in matte as well, but if you are doing anything that has sparkle, like a micro pave, a CZ, that's, you know, plated, it's in a plated metal, and you want to brush the coating over the whole thing like I'm doing here, you really don't want the matte, because it will keep your little CZ, you know, your little faux diamonds from sparkling. But if you use a semi-gloss, as you can see, I brush it over the everything, and it will dry really quickly, and, you know, really save this from tarnishing. This isn't going to be so much up to my skin, but a little charm section of a necklace like this is something I find myself playing with a lot. So I am going to do that. My wire from Softlex has an anti-tarnish coating already, and my little toggle clasp, or my little lobster, my decorative lobster claw clasp, is gold filled, so I don't need to do that, but you actually could. This is one of the best products. I've tried several others that I have ordered from Amazon, and they take forever to dry, and this one really works. And if you sell your jewelry, it is a wonderful thing to put in your listing. It's such a selling point to, you know, to say that all of your metal findings have an anti-tarnish coating. You know, people really like when they'll spend the money on a handmade piece. You know, if it's not just fashion jewelry, I find that it's a really great selling point. So I'm going to do all three of my charms, and I will put some pictures at the end. And do not forget to check the description box. The links for Didi Beads will be there for our beautiful collaboration box, and anything else that I use that I brought in from my own stash to accomplish this project will also be there. And I really hope you'll subscribe to my channel and tap the bell notification, and a thumbs up is really appreciated, because I have designed a bracelet, another really cool necklace, and I think another pair of earrings, and maybe even more. This was the strands in our box. We were really generous this month. There's a lot of pieces in this box, so I am going to keep creating, and I hope everybody is safe and well and having fun on your beading mats, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, friends.